Hi, welcome back to English 111 Online. This is our final week, and so we have the final exam this week. Your final exam is going to be you writing an essay, and so you'll incorporate everything that you have learned this summer semester through and show what you've learned on the final exam essay that you're going to write. View the video, which you're doing now. Read all the directions carefully. There's some repetitions. Read them all. I'm going to read them to you now, but read them again. Part of the final exam is being able to follow directions. Submit the final exam document in the quiz when you when you finished it to submit it. This is the way that we did the midterm assessment, and you'll do this the exact same way. Click on the quiz and submit your document through the quiz. This is due before midnight on July 28th. Final grades have to be posted by July 30th at noon, and so I can't be accepting late final exams. As you can imagine, I'm going to be grading like crazy to get all the final grades done by July the 30th. So, your final exam is going to be based on sources from Rereading America, your textbook. How We Sold Our Souls and More to the Internet Giants on page 315. Thank God It's Monday on page 445. And Our Future Selves on page 241. Now, we will not be writing a reader response to this or a rhetorical analysis of these. You're going to be using information from these three readings as evidence to back up a claim that you're going to make based on the final exam writing prompt. So you're going to read the three essays ahead of time, make notes that you could use in your essay, and then you'll type up your Google Doc, and you'll have 90 minutes once you click on the final exam link to submit that completed document. Like I said, it's just like we did in the midterm assessment for the paragraph. This is going to be a complete essay. So, the document is right here. Read this document for the requirements of your final exam essay. Following directions is part of the assessment, so I don't want you to be confused. This is the document. It says, for the final exam, you will demonstrate your writing abilities by responding to the prompt below in a 4 to 5 paragraph essay. Your essay should have the following components. It should adhere to MLA format for document structure and in-text citation, including a works cited page. Remember, I went over this quite a bit last week, but go back and refer to that if you need to, but make sure you have proper MLA format in your document. You'll need an introduction paragraph with a clear thesis statement. This is not a paragraph this time, this is a full essay, so you need an introductory paragraph with a clear thesis statement at the end stating what your claim is based on the writing prompt. You'll have body paragraphs with clear topic sentences and supporting evidence from these essays: Our Future Selves, How We Sold Our Souls and More to the Internet Giants, and Thank God It's Monday. And then you'll have a conclusion paragraph that summarizes and synthesizes your thesis statement that you made in the introductory paragraph. A works cited page with all sources correctly cited according to the specifications of the MLA guide and the Little Seagull handbook. Now here is the writing prompt. This is what you're going to base your claim on, which is your thesis statement in your introductory paragraph for this essay. Here's the prompt. Incorporating evidence from the essays you've read, compose a thesis-based essay explaining how technology has changed the way people think, live, or interact with others. Choose one specific aspect, either think, live, or interact, and use information from the essays to support your claim. This is what you're going to base your claim on this prompt. This is what they're asking you to do. So type your essay in a Google Doc as you normally do. Submit the document in the quiz as you did for the midterm assessment. You cannot get outside help on this. No Smart Thinking, English Studio, another person. Do this all on your own. You're not asked to write about the Rereading America essays. Rather, you'll use information from those essays to support the content of your own response to the final exam prompt, this prompt right up here. So you should read all the essays so that you can adequately and effectively incorporate information from one or more of the sources into your essay, because this is required. You must incorporate information from one or more of those 3 essays. You have 90 minutes to complete the final exam. The quiz will automatically submit at the end of 90 minutes, so don't click on the quiz until you're ready to put your essay document in there. Okay, there are some things that I thought would be helpful for you since we haven't had, we only have 8 weeks in the summer and we don't have a week to prepare for this final exam, and so I've given you some suggestions here. So read this and follow my directions. You will need an introductory paragraph. Remember, attention getter, explanation of your topic, narrowing it down to a thesis statement, and your thesis statement must be the claim that you are making based on that writing prompt. Use words from the writing prompt to create your thesis. Mention at least 2 points you want to make in your thesis statement. So depending on your thesis, you must have at least 2 separate body paragraphs. If you mention 2 things, then you'll have 2 body paragraphs. If you mention 3 things, you'll have 3 body paragraphs. If you mention more points, you'll have an equal number of body paragraphs in your essay, each beginning with a topic sentence. You'll have a conclusion that reminds the reader of your thesis, leaves the reader thinking about the point that you're making. Bring in evidence from at least one of the assigned essays to back up the points you're making. Remember, your evidence has to be iced, introduced with a signal phrase. If it's word for word, put it in quotation marks. Remember the quo per punct. You don't need a parenthetical at the end if you mention the author's name in your sentence. But if you mention the article in the sentence, you need a parenthetical at the end with the author's name, because these all have authors, and so these will be listed in the works cited page with the author's name first. After bringing in the evidence, explain how this helps make the point you're trying to make. Do not say this quotation means. Instead, explain how it relates to your thesis and your topic sentence. You must have a works cited page with correct works cited entry. Here's the pattern. Author's last name, comma, author's first name, period. Quotation mark. Title of article, period. Quotation mark. Rereading America, cultural context for critical thinking and writing, comma, 11th edition, Bedford St. Martin's, 2019, and then the page numbers of whatever that article is on, just like we did for the rhetorical analysis. This must be in hanging indent, and if more than one, if you're quoting from more than one article, then you need to have it in alphabetical order according to the author's last name. In creating your thesis and deciding what points you want to make in your essay, consider one of these 3 questions. How has technology changed the way people think? How has technology changed the way people live? How has technology changed the way people interact with each other? And then based on whichever claim you're going to make, not the question, but the claim that you're going to make, you will you ask yourself, what are 2 ways technology has changed the way to do this? And you can have more than 2, but at least 2, and then find something that backs you up from one or more of the assigned articles. Here's a little outline for the final exam essay. If you want to follow that, it's this repetitive information for what you've already read above, but some people might like to see it this way instead. Okay, so, and here's the read this document thing. So here's the thing. When you sign in this week, read those 3 articles. If you do not have the correct textbook to get those articles, make sure you borrow from someone else, or make sure, or Google them on the internet and see if you can find those articles on the internet, because you will need to read those 3 articles. Now, you only have to use at least one of them in your essay, but you want to read through all 3 of them to see what they say about technology before you answer one of those questions up here, those 3 there to base your claim on. And then open a Google Doc, set it up in correct MLA format, type it up. When you have it done, make sure you have a works cited page and everything. Once you have it completed, then click on your final exam, and you have 90 minutes to submit the exam that way. When you click on your final exam, you will see it says you've got 1 hour and 30 minutes to start the attempt. And so what you will do is, here's the same question that you got in the writing prompt, and then there are 2 ways you can do it. You can drag it, your file into this part, or you can click on this to add your file, and then you can go to your Google Drive and find the document that way and submit it on this. Remember, after 9, don't click on this until you're ready to do it, because after 90 minutes you will it'll automatically submit. Now, if you run into any kind of technical difficulties, internet goes out, computer blows up, whatever, please email the document to me. Get it to me before midnight on July 28th, because that Monday morning, July 29th, I'm going to start grading these. And if you don't have it in, you're going to get a 0 for this, and your final exam counts 10% of your grade, so it will affect your grade. If you have any questions about any of this, you don't understand the directions, I've tried so hard to repeat as much as possible to make you understand what I want you to do here. But if you have any other questions, just contact me and let me help you with this. And do give me until the July 30th to get the grades done. I'm going to be working hard and furiously and giving you as good feedback as I can give you on these final assignments. So I won't see you next time because this is the end. So I just want to say how much I've enjoyed working with all of you. You've been good students, you've been hard workers, and I wish you much success in the future.